talk. "My husband Henry's out with his brother Braxton from down the way," Eleanor explained. "Brax is 18. Gonna be a Marine if he gets his test letting him pass high school. Whatever test that is." "Yes, it's called a GED. Anyhow, Henry's learning him hunting with bow and arrow, so wants to learn Creighton about hunting too. Bow hunting, cheaper than buying bullets. Dogs don't like it none, 'cause he leaves them to home. They spook game when it's with a bow, 'cause you got to get closer than with a gun. Henry, he's between jobs right now. Worked at the gas station, got let go." Char realized the woman was trying to talk about everything except her truant daughter, so she tried to steer the conversation away from Henry and hunting. "I'm sorry to hear that, but we'd sure like to see Penny in school this winter." Penny's blue eyes seemed to fill her thin, freckled face, but she kept looking at her mother for answers when Char tried to question her. Even letting Penny take a small gift from her array of them hadn't made the child more talkative. With a shy, "Thank you," the girl chose crayons, though Char wasn't sure there was any paper to be had. So far, no one had picked the jump ropes. Char realized one thing they had in the hills was rope of their own. She watched Penny fingering the colorful crayons through the cutout in the front of the box, but she didn't open it. "Mrs. Hanson, you know, a school bus comes up as far as Coyote Rock." Char tried again. "So if someone could get Penny down the road that far, she'd be taken right to school and brought back to the same spot, safe and sound." Penny looked hopeful. Eleanor sighed. "I'll have to ask her pa, but beholden to you for the offer. He don't trust no one works for the government, don't like handouts, not our way, don't care what outsiders say." "I understand that, Mrs. Hanson, and I don't work for the federal government, but the state of Ohio. I'm living in Cold Creek now, was born there, too." "So you didn't leave, like so many want out?" "Yes, for a while. I grew up in Michigan, then left there to go to school and lived out west, near an Indian reservation." "Now that will be something to tell your pa, won't it, Penny? He says the real ones used to live in these parts 'fore the coal mines played out." It was at least an hour before they rose from the table and headed toward the door, with Eleanor leading the way and Penny trailing. Char felt she'd built a bridge, but Henry Hanson could be a barrier big as this mountain. Out west, she'd learned the hard way not to buck the menfolk, though she'd love to challenge them for not valuing their children and wives. Before they followed Eleanor outside, Peggy tugged on Char's jacket. "I'd like to go down to school," she whispered. "Wished you could fetch me." "I wish I could too, Penny. I'll be sure to tell the school you'd like to go." "But if Pa says no..." Eleanor's voice was loud as they joined her on the plank porch. "This view beats all, though, don't it?" "It's absolutely beautiful," Char agreed, as they gazed down the stone gap through the mist toward the foothills that sheltered the small town of Cold Creek below. It was so different from the mesas and canyons in New Mexico, but it was a stunning sight. "And I hope I'll be seeing this view and both of you again soon. Please tell Mr. Hanson about the time the bus will be waiting below, and thank you both for the delicious stew and biscuits." She shook hands with both of them, though she yearned to hug little Penny to her. Char waved as she climbed into her truck, that had survived dusty corduroy western roads and a long, sad drive back to Ohio, when her bold "Dads Don't Drink" anti-alcohol campaign had met with stiff opposition from some of the local fathers and tribal elders. It had made her wary of men who browbeat or physically beat their women and children. Despite being back in her truck, Char jolted when she heard a gun go off nearby. Hadn't Eleanor said her husband was out today with a crossbow and not a gun? She gripped the steering wheel and stiffened, waiting for another shot.